Oh man, I'm gonna try to do another one of my crazy type videos, man. Far reaching, you know what I'm saying? Through the sands of time and great distances as well. All right. I seen something before, man. This I think it's a Canaanite deity, but I could be wrong here, man. But it's called abraxis, and abraxis has legs like snake, a body like a man, and a head like a chicken. And I've recently become kind of privy to this. The serpent and the bird mixed. I mean, you got the caduceus, I think it's called, and that's the two snakes, and with the two snakes with wings. You got the cockatrice, the fiery flying serpent. Uh, but I mean, it's crazy, man. This weird, odd, these odd similarities here. Basically, Geronimo, in the book, his own story, there's like a part in it where he described this creation legend, and it's about the war between the reptiles and the serpents versus the birds. You know what I'm saying? Which, this is crazy about this, because they say that the reptiles turned into birds. You know what I'm saying? That's what they say through evolution, but I don't believe in evolution, but they do. So I'll just bring that up. And you know, this legend story of Geronimo says that you know, that these two animals, there was a time when the animals were the man and animals could all communicate. Like everything had the gift of, or not, I don't know, gift, but they could all communicate, and they had languages. And the lizard kingdom wanted to didn't want man to ever be fruitful in the earth, basically. So there was a war to eat all the men. They let women be born, but men, there was a dragon waiting to devour all the children. And I mean, and if you look in Revelations, even, there's the woman clothed with the sun in her feet, standing on the moon with the 7 stars, and there's a dragon, a red dragon, and it's trying to basically devour the child as it's born. And this is identical imagery as is in this Geronimo legend, which is just insane in the brain. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't surprise me. Like, I believe there's like at least three different populations of people that were inhabiting here in America. And like the Ojibwa, it says that we weren't native really to this place, we were only here. They could only count back like 600 years, and that's about 1200. That's about the you know, I mean, that's not too long ago, but it's long enough. But it's not that far back in the whole scope of history. But there's different, like if the Apache, which what Geronimo was, if he was related to the Mayan in them, they would have revered the serpent and the reptile. But instead, they really they wouldn't even eat an animal that ate lizards. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's how much they disliked. I mean, there's another thing: the Apache would not eat pig. You know what I'm saying? It shows you weird customs that, you know, they're obviously biblical. You know what I'm saying? But just people don't want to connect the dots. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes because they got some kind of academic dog in the fight. You know what I'm saying? Academic fascist dog in the fight. But back to this whole, the Egyptians, their headdress, you have a snake on the forehead, and then the veil that drapes on the sides are birds' wings. So that's abraxas. That's the caduceus. That's I mean, that's down the same animal dualism type thing. And it's just crazy. I mean, how far reaching this stuff is, man. Let me think. All right, now you got this Roman god, this god called Janus. Okay, Janus is like a god with split personalities. So he has like, all right, when you see a picture of like, listen, when they take two people's faces and they got one dude's face like this looking at you, and then they put another dude's face with one eye, that's really the pose of this god Janus. But look at Abraxas. Abraxas has the feet of a serpent and the face of a chicken. So that's a two-faced god as well. I mean, in a way, or a multi-characteristic god, or or whatever. I mean, really, Abraxas looks more like a demon. You know what I'm saying? A goetic demon than anything. But it's just crazy that these little connections here. And then here's another thing. Like just recently, they found something called nagalase, which is a chemical that's in vaccines that's shutting off people's immune systems. And the first four letters of it, Naga, are the name of the serpentine, like they're people with the upper human body, and they were depicted with serpents' feet, or a serpentine lower half, kind of like a mermaid, but a serpent made basically. These Naga were the kings, where they say they descended, the bloodlines of the kings descended from, in their serpentine depicted in the artwork that the ancient cultures used to write about these things. Or there's a dude named Fuji. It's like Fixi or Fuxi. This Chinese dude, he's also depicted as a man, a woman, like Siamese twins almost. And both these Siamese twins have long serpent legs that intertwine with one another, which looks like the DNA, which looks like the caduceus, which looks like yeah, there's all kinds of other things. You know what I'm saying? That this similar pattern is modeled on. So I mean, there's that connection to Abraxas with the connection to the chicken-headed serpent man, and then you find the pharaohs of Egypt followed the same imagery. When you go to China, on the other hand, I mean, yeah, they do kind of have. They got the bird, and they got the snake and the dragon. You know what I'm saying? So they got all the symbols in their little set of I don't know, man, of their ancient science. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what this stuff is all about. But here's another crazy connection, is that and there's the book of Jasher, and it's an alternate account of Genesis, and it describes in there how there was this rebellion, like during the time of Babel. The whole earth was a one world order. It was the new world order back then. And they were, everyone was celebrating, and they were all pumped up that they were about to become, transcendental immortals, and they were going to find a gateway to the God. You know what I'm saying? And when they did that, I mean, it said they were shooting arrows in the sky. This tower was so high, they'd shoot arrows, and they'd fall back to the earth, and there was blood on them. But basically, because they did this, they were cursed. In each third, there was 3 different factions in Babel, and 1/3 of them got turned into apes. You know what I'm saying? And 1/3 of them people got turned into elephants. And then I can't remember what the judgment was on the other third, but basically that is de-evolution. That is evolution backwards. That says there that men were turned into animals by God in this account. You know what I'm saying? So that really knocks another big hole in the whole Darwinistic paradigm, that things actually, I mean, how could that be done? Not sure, but I don't know. With all of our advancements in technology and cloning and reconstructing, like Jurassic Park, like finding ancient DNA and then trying to reconstitute it now through an artificial womb matrix type situation. Or like on The Omen when he says, I saw his mother. He was born from a jackal. I was thinking about that, man. How could that be done? Man, these days they could do that. I mean, it's crazy. But these are some, that's some crazy material here. This whole abraxis, the serpent cult, the snake cults, you know what I'm saying? You can see that the snake infused with the bird. And then once again, the Bible also talks about this time when these giants and these angels had all these hybrid experiments where they made all these composite chimera creatures that we see in Greek mythology. I mean, they're not the only. I mean, Greek mythology is the most widespread because they teach it to Americans in high school, so that's why it's well known. And then when you go to college, if you get into any fraternity, they're going to give you further Greek programming. You know what I'm saying? And the Greek programming was all over the world, and it always has been. You can see it went to India, it went to China, and it went to Africa. That's where I was going to go with this Tower of Babel thing. Where do you see the elephants? In Asia and in Asia and Africa. Where do you see the apes? In Asia and Africa. And pretty much for the rest of the world, we don't have many apes, especially great apes, no gorillas. Because when you say the word ape, to me it rings more like a gorilla. Because why not use the word monkey? They knew the difference between monkeys and gorillas and all that stuff back in the day. You think they didn't know these things? They've known all the animals since the beginning of time. You know what I'm saying? And they've been named since the beginning. Just, like the word dragon. Well, I mean, you look at a Komodo dragon. That is a dragon, a giant lizard. An alligator. That's a water dragon. You know what I'm saying? And there was a time when there was bigger reptiles here as well. And I mean, that might be part of those giant experiments where they mixed species. But I mean, if angels are shapeshifters now, that would explain an abraxas that could have a face like a chicken, body like a man, and legs like a serpent. And if that, that also explains how they could procreate with other species, because these things could take on the characteristics and attributes of different things. You know what I'm saying? Not sure how that's done. Is it like the vampire? You suck the blood, now you got all the genetic material to recreate it? I mean, stuff ain't really, it ain't too difficult, man, to speculate. I mean, can you say anything for sure? I mean, not as of yet, but I mean, it's getting easier with this internet, man. And where we are in the times when knowledge is increased, so that's one of the reasons why all these things are coming to light now. I mean, we never even would have heard of none of these things. I mean, shoot, I've only known about the giants and the Tupac Amaru, serpent cult, pyramid, sun cults. I've only known about this for about 2.5, 3 years. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I knew about this other stuff I knew about a lot of stuff for a long time, but I mean, some of this stuff is just new to me. And how, like, basically the Nazis is a sun cult. That's an eco-fascist sun cult. Anyone who practices in eugenics and infanticide, which was taught by the angels, it's always the same. It's the same ideologies, man. I mean, it's just they're repackaged. It's like almost like, like you got this box, Pandora's box. It's like each generation gets to reopen Pandora's box, but each generation, the last generation changes the wrapping paper and the bow. And each time the wrapping paper and bow gets nicer, but that inside that Pandora's box always remains the same, man. It's crazy.